Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajadana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajadana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jayurada Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayurada Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare, please chant. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Gokula Nanda, Radha Gokula Nanda, Radha Gokula Nanda, Sri Radhe. Jaya Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. So we're just going to recite some glorification prayers to the previous acharyas and the Lord, so you can either bow down or fold your hands. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtatarshad Shishimat, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtatarshad Shishimat, His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki, Namacharya Shri Hardasa Thakur Ki, Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki, Vrindavan Dham Ki, Mayapur Dham Ki, Jagannakshetra Dham Ki, Ganga Mai Ki, Yamuna Mai Ki, Tulsi Maharani Ki, Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11 and verse 51. So this chapter is entitled The Universal Form. And in this chapter, Krishna and Arjuna are on the battlefield, and Krishna is exhibiting to Arjuna his universal form. Does anyone know what is that universal form? Anyone knows? Virat Rupa. Okay, anything else you want to say? Krishna is showing his opulences. Yes, anything else you want to add? It's very, yes? Mm, okay. So Mataji is saying that it all started because Krishna didn't want to fight the battle. Arjuna, sorry. Arjuna didn't want to fight the battle, which is natural because he was supposed to fight with his friends, his relatives, his family members. So obviously he didn't want to fight, but he had to fight for some reasons, because actually that was his right to have the land, the throne, and Mataji was saying how actually then Krishna revealed his universal form to show Arjuna that everything is already done. What's meant to happen will happen, and Arjuna is just has to be there and do his duty, and that's the plan. That's the divine plan is there, and his place is just do his duty. That's what he has to do. Okay, anyway, we will read today's verse 11:51. Arjuna Uvacha. So yes, you can follow on the. Oh, is it possible? Sorry. It will be. Yes, okay. Arjuna Uvacha. Drishtvedamanusham rupam. Tava somyam janardana. Idanim asmi samvrita. Sacheta prakritim gataha. Would anyone like to try and recite? Arjuna Uvacha Trishtvedamanusham Rupam Tava Somyam Janardana Idanim Asmi Samvritaha Sacheta Prakritim Gataha. Okay, word for word. Arjuna Uvacha. Arjuna said, Drishtva, seeing, idam, this, manusham, human, rupam, form, tava, your, somyam, very beautiful, janardana, O chastiser of the enemies, idanim, now, asmi, I am, samvritaha, settled, sachetaha, in my consciousness, prakritim, to my own nature, gataha, returned. Translation. When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, O Janardana, seeing this human-like form, so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind, and I am restored to my original nature. If you could please repeat. When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, O Janardana, seeing this human-like form, so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind, and I am restored to my original nature. And purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Here the words Manusham Rupam clearly indicate the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be originally two-handed. Those who deride Krishna as if he were an ordinary person are shown here to be ignorant of his divine nature. If Krishna is like an ordinary human being, then how is it possible for him to show the universal form and again to show the four-handed Narayan form? So it is very clearly stated in Bhagavad Gita that one who thinks that Krishna is an ordinary person and who misguides the reader by claiming that it is the impersonal Brahman within Krishna speaking is doing the greatest injustice. Krishna has actually shown his universal form and his four-handed Vishnu form. So how can he be an ordinary human being? A pure devotee is not confused by misguiding commentaries on Bhagavad Gita because he knows what is what. The original verses of Bhagavad Gita are as clear as the sun. They do not require lamplight from foolish commentators. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruvei Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahakana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopasha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so again I will just read the translation. When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, "O Janardana, seeing this human-like form so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind and I am restored to my original nature." So before I start, I would like to request for your blessings so I can speak according to the scriptures for the pleasure of the Lord. So first of all, what is here Krishna say? What actually here in this verse Arjuna is saying, he's saying that he's seeing Krishna now in his original form, in his two-armed form. As you can see Krishna on the altar, on the left-hand side is Krishna. And we can see that he is in his two-armed form. And that's his original form. That's the form that he exhibits in Vrindavan. That's his original form. And this form is called human-like. And actually that really requires some explanation because like the saying that we are made according to the image of God. So it's not that God looks like us, it's us who look like God. Because actually in Bhagavad Gita, further in Bhagavad Gita in the 15th chapter, it is explained how everything that is here in this material world is the reflection of the spiritual world. So in the same way, the way Krishna looks, his body, our body is the reflection of his body. Of course, his body is completely spiritual. It does not have anything to do with matter, whereas our body is material. But the appearance, the appearance of this body originates in the body of God. And so this is very important to understand. And then Arjuna is saying that this body is very beautiful, and Arjuna is expressing how he feels. He feels composed in mind, and he feels restored to his original nature. So that's why it's so important actually to Arjuna was able to see Krishna just in front of him because he's a pure devotee. So he's able to see Krishna standing in front of him. But for us, we may not be on that level when we can just open our eyes in the morning and see Krishna in front of us. But by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have this opportunity. Srila Prabhupada brought this, put this, the whole process for us together, extracted from all the scriptures, extracted for us the very easy form, how we can see Krishna, how we can remember Krishna, how we can come back to him, come close to him. And he established this deity worship procedure. And thanks to that, we can actually see Krishna right in front of us. And we can stand in front of him and we can have some very profound experiences. Of course, the way we see him will depend on our consciousness, because we may see, for example, even when we amongst each other, we may see things differently, right? For example, I may wake up and say, "Wow, this is such a beautiful day, so much rain," because I love rain, and so much, and the ground is getting nourished. The ground is getting ready to produce. So this is such a beautiful day. But someone else may say that, "Oh my God, this is such a miserable day. It's rainy. There is no sun." So depending on our perception, we see things differently. So similarly, if we are able to understand that here on the altar, it's not the marble statue, but actually it's Krishna himself who appeared in this form so that we can see him, because our eyes are material, therefore our eyes can only see material things. And therefore Krishna appears in the material, he appears in the matter, which is the marble or the stone or the brass. He appears in different materials so that we can see him. But actually, as soon as he appears in that materials, he completely spiritualizes them. That's why the body of the Lord on the altar is not material. And if we are able to see him like this, then we can have a beautiful experience. And just like Arjuna is saying here that by looking at Krishna, he is restored to his original nature. That means his original spiritual nature. We also, coming to see Krishna, if we are able to see him like that here Krishna is standing in front of me, we can also then slowly, gradually start experiencing who we are. We can start come closer to our real nature, our spiritual nature. And would you say that there is some difference in your experience when you come to see Krishna on the altar as compared to, for example, when you go to museum or when you go to cinema? Is there any difference in that experience? Yes? It's a different experience, right? It's entirely different experience, because when we see material things, they just make us more and more engrossed in this material concept of life, that I'm this body, I'm here to enjoy through my senses, I'm here to enjoy through my eyes, through my sense of smell, sense of hearing. But when we come to the temple and we see Krishna in front of us, then actually this helps us to revive our original nature, our spiritual nature, that actually I'm not this body. I can see, because I get some different experience. And how is it possible that I get some different experience? Because it's a spiritual experience, and it's possible only when we engage in devotional service. And coming to the temple, having darshan is a spiritual experience. It's a devotional service to come to see Krishna, to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, to hear Bhagavad Gita, to discuss the scriptures, to sing Mahamantra. These are all spiritual activities, devotional service. And only through those activities we're able to understand who we really are, that we are the spirit soul. All other activities are just making us more and more, putting us more and more into illusion that I'm this body. So let's continue from the purport. Srila Prabhupada says, here the words Manusham Rupam clearly indicate the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be originally two-handed. Those who deride Krishna as if he were an ordinary person are shown here to be ignorant of his divine nature. If Krishna is like an ordinary human being, then how is it possible for him to show the universal form and again to show the four-handed Narayan form? Shri Radha Gokulananda ki, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Shri Gauranitai ki, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So another point is that because why actually Arjuna, like before we mentioned that Krishna showed to Arjuna this universal form. And this universal form, even though it's amazing, it's showing how Krishna is everywhere in this material creation. He's everything. He's in every part of this cosmic manifestation. And this is amazing. But at the same time, it's bewildering and it's even scary to see. And why did Arjuna immediately want to see Krishna in his two-arm form, in his original form? And the same happened to Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda, Krishna's mother, also at some point was able to see his universal form. And also she got so bewildered that she fainted. And she didn't want to actually see that form. And why is it? Why is that? The reason is because a devotee of Krishna wants to have relationship with Krishna. And how can and to have a relationship, we have to have relationship with someone, with a person. In order to develop relationship, there must be person. And this universal form is impersonal form of Krishna. And actually all of us here and everyone here in this world is looking for love. This is our very natural desire to love and to be loved. And that's why we are always looking for happy relationships. And we can only experience love in relationship with another person. Even Krishna himself, in order to experience love, he expands into Srimati Radharani so that he can experience devotional exchanges with another person. So this is why Arjuna does not want to see that universal form, why he's not so inspired by it. And for all of us, actually, that's a very important part to understand that Krishna is a person. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in order to come close to him, we have to get to know him. We have to develop relationship with him. And that's what Srila Prabhupada is saying here, that this is very important to understand, that he is the person and that he is the Supreme Person. He's saying that not everyone and anyone can just show the universal form and then again assume four-armed form and then two-armed form. Who can do it? Only the Supreme Personality of Godhead can do it. And if there is someone who claims to be God, we can then ask them, okay, show me your universal form, or show me your two-armed form, or show me your two-armed form. Okay, we all have two-armed form, but show me your four-armed form or eight-armed form. And if that person is not able to do it, that means they are just cheating. And there are so many cheaters like that in this day and age. And that's why this chapter is very important, because Krishna showing the universal form is also for that reason. So that if anyone claims to be God, then we can defeat them by asking, okay, show me your universal form, show me how you're present everywhere in this world. And who can do it? Only Krishna can do it. And then Srila Prabhupada says, it is very clearly stated in Bhagavad Gita that one who thinks that Krishna is an ordinary person and who misguides the reader by claiming that it is the impersonal Brahman within Krishna speaking is doing the greatest injustice. So another misconception that some people have is they think that Krishna is an ordinary person, that he is just like one of us. But if he was one of us, then how could he just manifest his universal form and then again two-armed form, then four-armed form? How can an ordinary person do it? No, ordinary person cannot do it. And then some people think that say that it's impersonal Brahman speaking through Krishna. But again, this is a big misconception that someone may have. Krishna has actually shown his universal form and his four-handed Vishnu form. So how can he be an ordinary human being? A pure devotee is not confused by misguiding commentaries on Bhagavad Gita, because he knows what is what. So that's why it's very important to choose the right source of knowledge. And that's why Srila Prabhupada translated this Bhagavad Gita, specifically this version, Bhagavad Gita as it is. And it's very important to read this Bhagavad Gita, because Srila Prabhupada mentions in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita that there are so many different versions of Bhagavad Gita, so many different translations and misinterpretations. And because of that, we cannot get the message right. It's just like the wrong translation. If, for example, there is a recipe to make a cake, but then if someone just thinks, oh, actually let me change a little bit here and there, and then give it to others, spread it all over the place, what is going to come out if the original recipe, that was a perfect recipe, if it's changed? It will never be the same as the original one. It will never have the same potency. And so with Bhagavad Gita as this, what is important is that Srila Prabhupada just translated the words of Krishna directly, as Krishna spoke it to Arjuna. And that's why the potency is there. So when you read it, you actually read Krishna's words and Arjuna's words and their sacred conversation between them. So what can be more purifying than hearing Krishna directly speaking to us and his pure devotee speaking? But if we go to some other commentaries of Bhagavad Gita, then we will not be able to access the full mercy, the full potency of this book, because if someone misinterpreted the meaning of the verses, then it will be lost, the potency will be lost. So that's why it's very important to read Bhagavad Gita as it is, which gives us everything very clearly, what Krishna said. And that's why Srila Prabhupada says that a pure devotee is not confused by misguiding commentaries on Bhagavad Gita, because he knows what is what. So that's the process Srila Prabhupada gave us, that he spent so much time translating these books from Sanskrit to English, so that we can then make progress. So can you imagine someone coming here to the West all the way from India? He traveled by cargo ship. It took him 1 month to come here to the West. And he went through 2 heart attacks during that trip. He hardly survived. Everyone was telling him, don't go. You will die there. You will die in the West. But he was so determined that his spiritual master asked him to bring this Krishna consciousness from India to the West, because these people don't know anything. They don't know anything about Krishna. They don't know anything about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They don't know how to revive their spiritual nature, how to be happy, how to live a happy life, how to live a spiritual life. And so Srila Prabhupada, out of love and compassion for us, he did it. At the age of 70, he came here and he dedicated the rest, few years of his life, just doing that, just translating the books so that we can understand, we can read them, and traveling all over the world many times to give people knowledge, to speak about Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. All that he did for us out of love and compassion for us. So now, from our side, in order to show our appreciation and gratitude, all we have to do is just to take it, just to take that gift that he has given us. And it's a very simple thing. It's a very simple thing to do. All we have to do is first of all, we can try to come here to the temple. Often we use this acronym A, B, C, D. So A stands for association, which you get when we come to the temple. We associate with others who also want to make progress on this path, the spiritual path. And it very much helps us, because when we go out, we go to work, there maybe not necessarily, we may not get that association which is really inspiring us to move forward in our spiritual life, because they actually, very small percentage of humanity wants to learn about spirituality, or real spirituality, wants to get to know God, wants to learn the truth, the absolute truth. You are in this tiny, small percentage. And so, actually, it's a very special situation to be interested in spiritual life in this day and age, in this age when everyone is so much engrossed in materialism. And that's why you won't find so much spiritual association when you go to work, when you go to the shop. But that's why it's so important for all of us to come regularly to the temple and to find that association, to make friends with those who are also interested in making spiritual progress, and maybe also decide that you will regularly do some spiritual activity together. Maybe that you will meet once a week to read Bhagavad Gita for half an hour, or that you will do kirtan together, you will go to the park and do kirtan, or that you will call each other and chant one round together. Something that will help you, and you will see that actually this is how you will develop very deep relationship, because when we come together to help each other come closer to Krishna, this is when we develop very deep relationships. And then we have B, that stands for books. So we already mentioned that this is the gift that Srila Prabhupada gave us, the books, and he spent so much time and energy to translate those books. And all we have to do is just try to read them. And again, it helps us when we come together and read. It makes it simpler and motivates us, and we can try to discuss also, because that helps. And of course, every day here in the temple we have morning 7:30 a.m. and evening 6 p.m. Every day we have classes. And even if you can't make it to come here, then everything is online this day. So you can also try to listen online. And then C stands for chanting. Does everyone know the Maha Mantra? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And one more time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is a very powerful mantra, Maha mantra. Maha means great. This is the greatest mantra you can ever have, you can ever chant. And it's for free. You don't need to pay anything. You just chant it. And the more you chant it, the more you will experience happiness and peace. All we have to do is just chant it and hear, just hear attentively. And again, it helps when we come together and do it together. And you can try it at home with your family, just in the evening, okay? When everyone is back from work, from school, you just sit down together and just sing Maha Mantra for 10 minutes. And you will see, you will feel so happy. And it will bring joy to your life, and it will help you. It will help you to come closer to Krishna step by step. And you will see that when you make that effort to take one step towards Krishna, Krishna will take 10 steps towards you. Because he is the one who loves you so much, and he wants you to be happy. He wants you to be back. He doesn't want you to suffer. He doesn't want us to suffer. And he knows we are suffering in this material world, and he really wants to help us. But we also need to want to receive that help. And Krishna has given us everything. Srila Prabhupada has given us. Krishna through Srila Prabhupada gave us everything. The process of chanting, reading, associating with devotees. And finally we come to, we had the A for association, B for books, C for, and D for diet. Yes, prasadam ki jai. After Arati there will be Mahaprasadam. So this is very important, our diet. Because as they say, you are what you eat. So in this Hare Krishna movement, we eat Krishna Prasadam. So whatever we eat, before we eat, we offer to Krishna. And anyone can do it at home. You just have you can have a separate plate for Krishna, separate cup, just for him. And when you cook, before you eat, you offer to him. You can have a picture of Krishna, of Srila Prabhupada, and you can just say a prayer. You can just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times and ask Krishna to accept this offering. Of course, there are certain things we don't offer to Krishna. Krishna only accepts vegetarian preparations, and also he doesn't accept onion or garlic. So this is something we would need to adjust a little bit. But you will see that as you do it, you will see the reciprocation again from Krishna. And then such a simple process as eating, everyone has to eat, everyone likes to eat, and such a simple process can be purifying, can become a spiritual activity. Since every day we have to eat, so every day we can help ourselves to spiritualize our bodies by accepting Krishna Prasadam. So you can try it again with your family, prepare, remind each other we are cooking for Krishna, so we are not tasting it, we are leaving for Krishna to taste it. After he had it, we will taste it, and we will see. And gradually we'll learn to see that it really helps you spiritually, that it raises your consciousness, and in this way, it's a very simple process, very simple practice. And yes, so do you think you can do it? Yes? I think you can do it. I think definitely you can do it. I'm sure that everyone has something. It may seem like, oh, there is so much in this process to do, but the best is to start from something that just seems easy for you and you feel enthusiastic about, and see how you can apply in your life and how it will bring joy to your life, bring happiness, and will help you to progress. So we'll stop here. Is there anything that anyone would like to say? Ask any question or make a comment? Anything? If not, then we will just chant for another few minutes Maha Mantra. Yes? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gokula Nanda, Radha Gokula Nanda, Radha Gokula Nanda, Shri Radha everyone for listening. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. And please, now we encourage you to stand up. The Arati is about to begin.
Shri Radha Gokulananda Ki. Sita Ram Lakshman Hanumani Ki. Shri Gardantai Ki. Give Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Arati Kashora Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Arati Kashora Give Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Arati Kashora Hare Hare